Hello, good evening, and welcome to another episode of the Administrator Masterclass Sneak Peek. My name is Tunde Disu. It's been a long week, seems like forever. I've been waiting for this day, and I'm glad it's here. I'm glad you are here, and together we're going to be looking into another aspect of in the life of a church or ministry or in any of the not-for-profit organizations, and to see how the administrator as an organization can offer help, support, and assistance in making sure the practical aspects of your ministry, of your church, of your organization is running, is well set up, and is running smoothly. This platform is specifically to help such organizations in managing the practicalities of the day-to-day running of such entity. You see, it is one thing to have a vision. It's another thing to know how to pursue and how to make that vision happen. And that is where the administrator comes in to support, to help, to work alongside you and make sure your vision is fulfilled and your assignment is completed. On today's program, we're going to be looking at something quite relevant, especially in this day and age. We're talking today on the church and social media. The church and social media. Social media is no longer a taboo as far as churches and ministries and not-for-profit organizations are concerned. In fact, I will go as far as saying that it has become a must-have for you to be effective in the delivery of your messages and your assignment. Social media is no longer for teenagers and youth. It is now a tool in the hands of everybody to be able to communicate, to send an instant message, to pass an information around the world in an instant. You need social media. In fact, I will go as far as saying social media is the season in which we live in now, as far as social media is concerned, can be likened to when the internet first came to life, and a lot of people were skeptical about it, not sure of what it's all about, the good that can come out of it. And it's almost unthinkable now that anybody can live a life, a whole day, without the influence of the internet. And that is where we are as far as social media is concerned. And the church, the ministries, the not-for-profit organizations, they are no exception either. It is as relevant in their lives as it is in any of the Fortune 1000 or Fortune 100 or FTSE listed organizations. It is as paramount as that. Statistically, 70 to 80% of people in the world today are on one platform of social media or another. Imagine that. 7 out of every 10 people that you see, that you meet, that you know are on one form of social media or another. So if you want to reach them, where best to go to than to go on this social media? If you look in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 9, 1 Corinthians chapter 9 verse 22 to 23, Apostle Paul was speaking and he said, "He has become all things to all men, and in so doing that he may save some." People are not going to churches these days. They are not trooping into churches as it used to be. So what does the church do? All we can do is to take church to where people are. And the best vehicle to do that is the social media. Imagine how quickly you can send a message to go around the world in an instant via a social media platform. And when we talk of social media, it's not limited to Facebook. You have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have Twitter, you have LinkedIn, you name it. There are so many of them out there, some that you and I don't even know, and yet they are just as vital and as appropriate as the ones that we know. So for an organization, especially a not-for-profit organization that is usually set up for the benefit of the community, of the society at large. What better way to reach this society than the social media platform? So, as you can see, social media is no longer relegated, or it's no longer the in thing among teenagers, among the youth. It is now a tool, it's a platform, it's an opportunity for you and I, individually, for any organization, to get their message across the world. So the question you may be asking is, why social media? Why does a church, for instance, what do they need a social media for, apart from what I have just spoken about? Well, I'm going to give you 2 or 3 points so that you can really begin to understand the importance of social media. In the olden days, for instance, in the village where I come from, if the king wants to pass a message to the whole village, the town crier will go out and stand in the city center or the village square and ring his bell and make the pronouncement from the king. Then in the time of the Old Testament, when Apostle Paul and all the other disciples were going from place to place preaching the gospel, usually they meet in town centers, in town halls, in city centers. But as at today, people are no longer meeting in the city centers. People are not meeting in the social halls. People are not meeting in the town halls. People are now meeting in the air, on their social media. That is where they meet. That is where people are now sharing. They're chatting, they're reviewing, they're posting, they're tweeting, they're communicating, they're sharing information, they're sharing knowledge, they are connecting. All of these are now done on the social media platform. So as an organization, where best to reach, to meet the people that you are set up to minister to, than to be where they are. If you look back recently, so many organized events that will happen simultaneously, almost at the same time, in different parts of the world, you start to wonder, how is that possible? That the same thing that is happening in New York is happening in London, is in Hong Kong, is in Tokyo, is in Paris, all at the same time. The only way that has been made possible is because these events, they were organized and they are coordinated via the social media platform. You can begin to see the strength and the relevance of the social media. So as an organization, maybe you have never seen social media in this light. Maybe to you it is just what people go on Facebook just to gossip or to talk about each other and take selfie and share pictures. Maybe that is your experience. Maybe that is your understanding of social media. I am hoping that with what we're covering tonight, you can see that it goes far, far, far beyond people just sharing pictures. The second reason why social media is important in the life of a church and any organization for that matter is the fact that social media is able to classify everybody on it in a demographical way. What do I mean by that? If you have a social media platform that is very active and that is very robust, you are able to look into the background of it to see the number of people that are connecting, where they're coming from, who they are, their age range, their income bracket, their gender, and everything. All these are broken down into simple, easy to understand statistics that you can then harvest as an organization to help you tailor your message, tailor your information to meet the specific people that you are there to reach. Imagine if you don't have that opportunity, if you don't have that information, you could be sending out your information and your messages thinking or believing that you are sending it to the right people, when in actual fact, it's not hitting its target. It's no wonder that most information that we send out these days, they don't come back to yield any result because they are not targeted at the right audience. But with the help of social media, all these can be achieved. So you can see again how important social media has become in the life of any organization or any individual. These are some of the areas. These are some of the things that the administrator is here to help you with. To help you manage, to set it up, to manage it, to coordinate it, to harvest the result, to put these tools in your hands so that your operations can be more effective. Your information can go further to the right people to solicit the right response. The administrator, as an organization, as a firm, is here to help you in this area. Don't let us just think social media is something you can ask your cousin or your nephew to help you do in your office. No, it's gone far beyond that. Far, far beyond that. The third reason why social media is crucial and is important in the life of any organization, again, is the issue of database. This has become such a vital tool in the hand of any organization. A lot of people are reluctant to give you their names, their phone numbers, their date of birth, their personal information, even though you may have data protection certificate that allows you to collect, to store and manage and use this information. But do you know that people are not as reluctant as that to give you their social media handles? If you ask somebody what's your Twitter handle, they will give it to you easily. If you ask them what's your Facebook, are you on Facebook? They say, oh yeah, check me out on so. You can instantly send them a friend request. They will answer, and bam, you are friends. But beyond being friends, what you have in your hand is actually the data of that person. Because most of these social media platforms will have stored these people's data. Now that you have it, you can then tailor, again, your message to the right people, to the right person, at the right time, using the right channel. So you can see it is another avenue for you to build a solid database. And also, it is easier to share messages and information via social media than any other means these days. All you need is one post. One post on the social media, and the whole world, virtually the whole world, is hearing what you are saying in the corner of your house. So as you can see, social media is no longer a child's play. It is now a vital tool, a must-have, an integral part of the operation of any organization. And because of that importance, it is equally important that the people setting up, managing, administering your social media should be knowledgeable. They should know what they're doing and how to use it to benefit you. Again, this is where the administrator will greatly support you and help you. Social media is the new television. There was a time when the only way to communicate worldwide is via television. Social media is the new television. It's the platform where you can tell your vision, where you can send your message, where you can pass your information around, where you can talk to people that you don't know, you probably would never meet or ever see in your whole life. And yet you are communicating with them as if they're just standing next to you. That is the power of social media. Social media is here to stay. It ain't going nowhere. It is here to stay. It will evolve just like anything else. It will evolve, it will grow, it will be represented in many other different ways that we're not even thinking about now. But it is here to stay. The world we live in, this world that we're living in now, is lived on fast, immediate, always ready information. And the best place to disseminate this information is on social media. It's on social media. It is a living platform. Social media is a living platform. It is constantly, instantly, all the time evolving, changing, increasing, and before you know it, you hear a new thing. Before you know it, it's branded in a new way. Before you know it, there's a new chapter to read. And it's constantly moving. And as an organization, in order for you to ride the wave of the social media, it has to be properly, well set up, adequately managed, professionally administered, so that the benefit thereof can come to you. And again, this is what the administrator as an organization can do for you and will do for you, given the opportunity. So why delay? Why hold back? Make that phone call today and let the administrator come alongside to help you, to support you, to give you the advantage so that you too can benefit from all of these things that we've been talking about today. The other side of it is this. As good as social media is, as excellent as its benefits are, if it is handled badly, the effect can be also devastating. If it is not managed properly, if it is not administered properly, if it is not looked after, if it is not engaging the right way, it's like what they call the two-edged sword. It can also come back to hurt you. And that is why it's not something that you can easily or just commit to the hand of just anybody who can click a button. And that is why organizations, big organizations, they now have a whole unit, a whole department, a whole team of people whose main job, main responsibilities are to manage the social media of such organization. So in setting up your social media, in administering and managing it, what is required? What do you have to do? What can the administrator do for you in this regard? I'll tell you. Number one, there has to be a solid plan in place. There has to be a solid plan in place. What do I mean by that? There are different platforms of social media available out there. So many of them. As an organization, you need to determine which is the most appropriate platform for your message. All this has to be planned and finalized before you click the go live button. Which of these platforms is suitable for the type of message that you are passing on and the type of information that you are sending out to the people that you want to reach? So the planning of the appropriate platform has to be in place. Secondly, what is the strategy that you want to adopt? What is your strategy of being on social media? How do you want it to go? Is it something you want to post on every day, weekly, bi-weekly? And there's so many things to be considered in the strategy. Again, the issue of demographic comes in. What is your target audience? Who are you reaching? How can you reach them? Which platform are they on? And all of that will come into the planning before you launch out on social media. Also, you need to plan how to integrate your social media into your church communication model, because the message that you are sending out on your bulletin, on your notice board, on your flyers must correspond with the message that you are also sharing on your social media. There has to be uniformity of message. The voice that is going out has to be one, so that irrespective of whether the audience are the people within the four walls of your church or the person on the far end of the world, the message they are hearing must be uniform. All this has to be planned before you click the go live button. You have to manage the postings. You have to manage what you are posting. You have to know why you are posting it and what effect it will have. Because social media is just one click. But once you click that one button, you have no control over where it will go and how far it will reach. So it is important that you have a good plan in place to manage, to guide the process of using social media before you embark upon it. Number two, the number two of what is required in using social media is people. People. As an organization, especially a church or a ministry, your social media unit is just as vital and as important as, for instance, your choir team or your team of ushers. It's a unit on its own. Therefore, it must be staffed by people, appropriate people. These people, they must be trained. They must be equipped. A space has to be allocated where they can function from. It is no longer something you do whenever. No, there has to be a dedicated team that will be in charge of it. Somebody must be responsible for the information that is going out, to maintain consistency of postings, to manage the feedback from the people. Remember, it's a social media. It has to be social. It's not a one-way traffic of you just sending out information. When people respond to your information, then somebody has to be there to catch that response and also feedback to them. It's also a platform where the reputation of the church is maintained. Therefore, somebody of quality has to be responsible for it. The number three reason of having social media is the purpose. The purpose. What is the goal? What are you trying to achieve? Who are you trying to reach? Where are these people you want to reach? This goal must be predetermined. It has to be predetermined. The goal must be constant, but the means of achieving the goal must be flexible. The goal itself has to remain constant, but the means, the ways of achieving the goal has to be flexible. Remember, I mentioned earlier on that it's like a wave and it's constantly moving. So it requires a lot of engagement on purpose and responding. It's a good thing to have 150,000 followers on your Facebook. But these followers has to, at some point, you have to then learn how to convert them to members, to clients, to subscribers. Because it's not just about, oh, look how many followers I have. What happens after they've started following you? All these are things that the administrator can help you harness and harvest to bring benefits to your organization. Number 4, your social media must be sustainable. It has to be sustainable. You have to have a way of measuring the outcome or the effect against the set goals. You have to review the strategy constantly, all the time. You have to promote your social media via the traditional way. What do I mean by that? You have to tell your members at every given opportunity, tell your members about your social media handles, where they can reach you on Twitter, where they can reach you on Instagram, on WhatsApp, on Facebook. You have to constantly remind them. Also, put the logo of all these social media on your printables, your bulletin, your newsletter, whatever it is, so that even visitors, people who are not within your organization, can know how to reach you, and then cross-promote your presence on all these platforms. Cross-promote your presence on all these platforms. Tell your Facebook friends where they can find you on Twitter. Tell your Twitter followers where they can find you on LinkedIn. And all of that, you have to know how to cross-promote all this social media. So as you can see, there is so much involved as far as social media management is concerned. But the best way to do that, to go about it, is to allow an organization who knows what they're doing to handle it. And that is where the administrator, as an organization, can come with all our experience, with our contacts and our knowledge in this area and many other areas, can be of help to you and to your organization. And all it takes, all that is required, is that one phone call, that initial consultation, which, like I said earlier, it's with no obligation whatsoever on your part. But let us sit down with you and let us examine your existing system. Let's review it together. Let's look at how to make it better. Or maybe you don't have one yet. Let's talk and discuss and reason together and find a way of setting up something that will be there to serve you for a long time. So for more information on how the administrator can help you and support you in this area, the telephone number once again is 0771 265 3428. That's 0771 265 3428. Or maybe you just want to send an email. Our email address is info@the-administrator.org. That's info@the-administrator.org. And we're looking forward to hearing from you, so that you too can join the team of organizations and individuals that have benefited from the over 45 years of experience that we have. And we are willing, we are ready, we are committed to lay at your feet to be of benefit to you and to your organization. And I can assure you, it's probably the best decision of the year that you will make on behalf of the organization. So pick up the phone, make that phone call today, and I can't wait to hear from you. Until Monday, again next week, Monday, when we meet to look at another aspect in the life of a church and organization. This is Tunde Disu, once again saying, we're here to help you because we're your friends. Thank you. God bless you. Bye-bye.